of a grounded opponent, so you won't see the traditional ground and pound, no twisting leg locks, there's no knees to or elbows to the head at any time, and no kicks to the head as they're standing.
Vicious leg kick in the early going from Oler. He's coming in hard. Really clinical boxing from him here in the early going, Jeremy. Some nice punches. And a big shot there takes Smeltzer to the ground.
Well, and here's an opportunity here where you used to see people drop into a guillotine choke. Now they're attempting this Dar's choke, which is a much better position. When you pull the guillotine, you give up an opportunity for your opponent to get out of that guillotine and be in a good position. The Dar's choke has just as good of an opportunity to land, but you don't give up that bad position.
Meltzer already bleeding from the nose, and as Oler recognized that, he backed up with a smile, Jeremy.
Well, and just they talk about fighters seeing blood. Now they actually get to literally see blood. And as soon as they see that red, it's a target. I know I can just keep smashing that spot, and it's going to do damage.
So Oler has Smeltzer up against the cage.
Big breaths there from Tyson Oler. First time you step into the cage, it's very much a question of managing your energy, managing your conditioning.
Yeah, we talk about that adrenaline dump that we see, especially with amateurs making their debut, is that first minute they come out flying, and then like you mentioned, it's that all the excitement kind of backs off, and all of a sudden they find themselves a little bit gassed out at the end of even just the first round.
Well, and this is where the tournament experience will come into play for Chris Smeltzer, because if he can last this first round and last the first opening flurry, tournament fighters will fight 4 or 5 fights in a day, so they know how to manage their energy to be able to be effective in all those fights.
Oler trying to push through for the takedown. A nice sprawl there by Smeltzer.
And there's the takedown, but excellent work by Chris Smeltzer. He knew that he was going to be taken down, so instead of just resigning to the takedown, he said, how am I going to counter? How am I going to roll? And he ends up in a great mount position.
So Oler's had the better of the fight on the feet so far, but like you mentioned, Jeremy, Smeltzer now on top. We'll see if he's able to work into a submission position. Again, with the rules here in Calgary, the mount not the most advantageous position for our amateurs to get into, because it does limit the amount of targets you have, because now you've only really got shots to the chest and submission attempts. The side control typically far more effective here for our amateurs.
In the amateur ranks, Ari Tobe, CEO of Hard Knocks Fighting, is a big fan of that side control, because he says the knees is the most underutilized position from that side control, being able to throw those knees. With 10 seconds remaining in this round, Chris Smeltzer might have done enough here at the end to make it a little bit of a closer round.
Trying to find a late submission is Chris Smeltzer, but not in time.
They don't want him to have 5 great fights. They want them to have 20, 30 excellent fights. Oh, that was a huge shot.
Punch there. Oler trying to close, trying to finish him off. Smeltzer firing back, but he is in trouble up against the cage. Oler just teeing off, Jeremy, and credit Smeltzer. He took a big one, but he's still alive.
Smeltzer is in survival mode, and look at the breaths coming in from Tyson Oler. He put everything he had. Another huge shot landing to Chris Smeltzer. Now Smeltzer thinking better at getting in on that takedown. A guillotine attempt, and it is very tight, but it's kind of it's tough at this point because you're not putting a lot of pressure down, but we'll see if Chris Smeltzer can slip out. He is attacking the grip, which means that it is in tight. The official right on top of the action, Ryan.
And there's the tap. Tyson Oler, your winner. Chris Smeltzer took a heck of a beating in that round. Tyson Oler coming away with the submission victory, Jeremy, but I'm pretty sure he thought he was coming away with a knockout.